All right, let's go ahead and move on, man. We got the Texans and the Rams. The Rams are favored by 14, the over under 47.5, and the Texans are one of three teams to average fewer than 18 points per game this season, but they are likely getting Tyrod Taylor back. And listen to this: the Texans have scored 51 points with 6 quarters with Tyrod Taylor as their quarterback. Houston has scored 46 points in the 22 quarters with Davis Mills. So, and then on a personal note, on a personnel note, they traded away Mark Ingram. So names in the backfield that remain include David Johnson, Philip Lindsay, and Rex Burkhead. Rex Burkhead being questionable, as is Justin McCray, Justin Britt, Tyrod Taylor, and Christian Kirksey. On the Rams side of the ball, since last episode we talked about him a good deal, I thought I'd mention that Cooper Kupp is the only player in the Super Bowl era with 800 plus receiving yards and 9 plus receiving touchdowns in their team's first 7 games of a season. Injury wise for the Rams, Jordan Fuller, Andrew Whitworth, Terrell Lewis, and Robert Rochelle are all questionable. But on this one, I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to Matt. What's happening here? Texans Rams.
See, this is a game. This would be one of the games that I would be happy to take both the over and the Rams covering here. I do believe that the Texans offense is going to get a significant jump with Tyrod Taylor coming back into this. And I do think the line reflects some of that. Tyrod just opens up a different dimension of the offense itself, which simply is just going to create just enough confusion. And while the Rams defense in fantasy has been more or less pretty relevant here, this is not the same Rams defense from last year. And I think that's a very important point to make on this podcast and really just moving forward here for the season. Ever since Brandon Staley left and the Rams started to play this year, people have been pouring on the points against them. They've been pouring on the yards as well. Now, do I believe in the Texans having a chance to win this game? Absolutely not. They don't have enough weapons. They don't have enough talent to compare. But we also saw the Rams almost struggle against the Lions last week. Now, some of that was how many fake punts are you expecting? Onside kick right off the bat. The Lions threw everything they had at them and still lost by 7. But at this point, the Rams have seemed to have played at almost down to their opponent level or up to their opponent level in a couple games here. I just don't have a whole lot of confidence in the Rams actually like in covering the 14 here. Well, at least blowing it out anyways. I'll take him because that's a safe move. Stafford's been playing out of his mind. Darrell Henderson should absolutely feast this week. Texans haven't been able to stop anyone against the run here. I think you start up all your Rams in confidence. On the Texans side, you're obviously starting Brandon Cooks. I think David Johnson could have some sneaky playability this week, especially with Mark Ingram being shipped out. They'll probably be down, almost guaranteed be down. So that could be a couple of dump offs there. But yeah, I'll take the over. I'll take the Rams to cover. Once again, not a game I'm going to bet or probably include in any of my parlays, just because I really don't have a lot of confidence either way. But I don't know. Tyler, make this a little bit sexier again, because I don't like this game.
I think Tyrod is the storyline, right? I think Tyrod's the storyline. I think obviously we've looked at 2 completely different Texans offenses with him on the field versus Davis Mills. And I think, like you said, everything kind of comes down to that. I like a lot of what you said, and I tend to agree with you. I think obviously on the Texans side of the ball, you're going to keep playing Brandon Cooks. I don't know exactly how the running back situation is going to play out. I think if you can hold off and kind of watch and see what the snap counts look like, this would be a good week to learn a lot about what this Texans offense is going to look like moving forward with Tyrod at the helm and with no Mark Ingram, right? On the Rams side of the ball, you nailed it. You're starting everybody. And, I came in thinking 14 just feels like a lot. It feels validated by what the Rams have been able to do throughout most of the season and kind of the difference in levels that I see these rosters at. But something tells me that Tyrod's going to be able to put some points up. I do like the over quite a lot. I think the over is going to find its way on a lot of my parlays. And if I'm betting the over to get there, I have to see Houston scoring. So I'm going to take Houston to cover the 2 touchdowns reluctantly. That spread is not something that I have a lot of confidence in, but it's something that I would pick for the sake of picking it.
Tyler, I kind of had the same thought process as you. Just Tyrod Taylor adds a completely different dimension to this offense. Before he went out, he was covering the spread in all the games that he started. Granted, it was only 2 games, but he definitely covered in both those games. So this 14 line and just me projecting Tyrod being there, and Matt, like you said, the Rams defense just hasn't looked like the Rams defense of old. I'm going to take the Texans to cover on this game. I'll take the over as well too, but I think Tyrod adds a completely different dynamic to this offense. Before he got hurt, I still wouldn't have any confidence, like you said, Tyler, of playing anybody as far as fantasy goes. But before he got hurt, the Texans actually didn't look like a horrible team. They were playing pretty well on offense. He had a pretty good completion percentage. I think he was throwing about 70% completion rating right there. So, yeah, I'll take them to cover on this one very reluctantly, but 14, it really just, that's too much for me. So I'll take Texans and the over on this game.
And I'm going to go back to Matt's points, and I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams in the over. I'm going to go ahead and just feel confident in the Rams being able to put up points, and not as confident as Tyrod Taylor in his first game back, picking up right where he left off when this Houston team fell off so heavily once he was gone. So I'm a little bit iffy on backing the Texans. I was on that train when it started, and then I didn't jump off the train soon enough once Tyrod Taylor went out, and I'm not going to jump back on too soon. I'm going to wait and see it play out first. Thank you for listening to this little highlight of the 2 Minute Drill podcast. If you want to follow along to other games, here's a playlist for you. If you want to listen to the show in its entirety, show links are in the description. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.